Hey everyone, I'm Caryn Solomon, and welcome to What's IGN Crushing On, IGN Africa's official entertainment podcast. I'm your host, and I'm joined as always by my producer and editor Rebecca Barches. So this is a show where we discuss all things entertainment and pop culture with a new guest every week. We bring recommendations, news, and fun facts, sometimes touching on the more serious issues surrounding these topics. You might have noticed that we're doing the show a little bit differently in season 2, but now we have segments. So our first segment is a pop culture chat with a pop culture fan recommending what they love, their opinions on what's current, and what they're looking forward to. A second segment features an interview with someone connected with an entertainment feature that has been released recently or what's coming up. And then, of course, our third segment follows what we're crushing on and loving right now. Today on the show, we have a pop culture chat with Sadie Torquato. She actually gave me a bit of a tutorial on how to pronounce her surname, so I'm very proud of what I ended up saying. But Sadie's a social media influencer, and she's a creative director, and she's hilarious online. So we discuss Love Island South Africa, we discuss Blood and Water Season 2, and the staying power of Gossip Girl, why we just can't let go of Gossip Girl. After that, we chatted to Thimna Libho, who were the winners of Love Island South Africa. More about that later, but they were adorable and so cute together. I don't regret voting for them one bit. But I don't want to waste your time. Let's start with our chat with Sadie. Hi Sadie, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's great to actually finally talk to you. I've been following you for so long. I feel like I know you already.
I know, me too.
So how are you? How has this year of COVID been for you?
There's been good days, there's been bad days. Today was actually a really bad day. So I'm having my wine, I'm relaxing, and we're going to have a great time because I need this. So today was one of those bad days. But there have been amazing days, so it's not unbearable.
So tell me a little bit about you, or tell the listeners a bit about you and, your backstory.
Okay, well, I'm Sadie Torquato through marriage. You might know me as Wiggles, but that is not my real name. I am a creative director for a consumer technology brand, and I am an online influencer. I've been active on social media too long than is healthy, but I've built an amazing community, so it's all good things.
Let's start first and talk about the chaos that we're all currently talking about, Love Island. So by the time this comes out, the show will be over. But okay, tell me, what were your highlights of the season so far?
Poor child, I thought you'd never ask. So, I love some chaotic television.
Yeah.
And Love Island has been nothing short of chaos. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen anything like it? It was like they were trolling the timeline for feedback on the show. Like you'll tweet one day, oh, they need background music, and the next episode, boom, it's like your wishes might come on. It was so crazy. Oh my word. But moments that I absolutely loved, and I'm going to say it, unpopular opinion, I miss Durang.
What?
I miss Durang. He was excellent content. Don't lie. He was excellent. Who did we drag harder than Durang? Cage, yeah, but then he stood up for his mental health and he left.
Mhm.
But Durang, oh, that was elite television. So I like Durang. I love Libho and Thimna. And our newly formed couple, Tanya and Ross, are doing it for me.
I actually also, Tanya surprised me in how much I liked her. Like, I didn't think I would like. I don't know. I'm such a I think she's my favorite character.
Tanya.
Yeah.
Look, her bum is my favorite. Can I put that on the record? Like, home girl makes me want to squat. And it's almost as if she's got a designated bum cam. Like, whoever's operating the camera is like trying to find her bum in every shot.
I actually thought that they were doing that for Eden in the first few weeks. Like, the amount of like bum content from Eden was like was so amazing.
Yes.
And then she left, and I feel like the bum
Yes.
cameraman just found his way to Tanya. Like, there's a designated.
You are absolutely right about that, actually. You're actually right about that. It does feel that way.
So I know you are very anti Xavier. I actually like Xavier, but tell me about why you're so angry with the moves that he's made.
Okay, so Xavier moves mad. That was so mad. You know what's really annoying? A dude who like okay, so you know what Xavier did? Xavier reminded me of Michael, Amber, and what's her name from the UK season
Yeah.
5, if I'm not mistaken. So what happened was Kaza Amor,
Mm.
Amber went off to Kaza Amor with the girls, and Michael stayed behind with the guys. Then the new girls came in, and Michael decided to switch. He chose this new chickie. And he was so into Amber. But when the new girl arrived, he suddenly had all these long raps about how Amber is to this, and Amber is to that, Amber is to this. Suddenly, out of the complete blue. And that's what I feel like Xavier did as well. He was all into Millie, loving Millie. Everything's great and wonderful. No one said you must say you love Millie, boy. Like, you did not need to do all of
Out
that.
as a person,
And then a
Sadie.
new girl comes in. Let me finish dragging your boy. So then a new girl comes in, and suddenly you have an issue with Millie's lifestyle. You have an issue with Millie's this, Millie's that, everything except for the fact that Millie picks her nose and her ear and eats it. He has a problem with Millie that, like, out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? And that for me is just crazy. Like, why can't people just say, listen, a new person's come in, my head's turned.
Mm.
Boom, end of story. Is that so hard, Xavier?
Yeah.
Xavier moves mad, no way. So that's why I have a problem with Xavier. And don't ask me about Assad because I don't like Assad, just so you know.
I know I can't stand Asad, but I mean I do respect Asad because I think that he's very smart at how he plays the game. Um,
Listen, he is really like he is what is the word, cunning? He's been the fact that he's still in there after all the nonsense he's done.
yeah,
It's very impressive.
it's wild. Like, he just like hits it and quits it all the time.
Hmm. But look, that's what Love Island is
Yeah.
about, right? It's about exploring people, about dating around, speed dating, seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like, and if it doesn't work, you move on to the next thing, which is what I was hoping our girl Mishka would do. But anyway,
She was trapped by Xavier. But then for me, it's like that's what makes it so wild that Ian stayed in for as long as he did because he wasn't dating around.
oh my gosh, please don't talk about Ian. I just got so triggered all of a sudden. Oh my word, what is he doing there? What is he doing there? What? How do we get rid of him? Because I can't. If I need to switch on my TV tonight and see him there again, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I cannot. And that poor
Oh,
Danae is being forced
shame.
into a relationship
Oh my gosh. I just want people to vote him out so that Danae can be free. She
with him, right? Let that girl go home because she just does not want to be
And
there.
the way they put her on that date with Millie and Assad, and they're like, "Is the door closed? Is the door closed?" Of course, she's gonna say no because she's on a she's only with the three of you, and you all wanting her to say no, the door isn't closed. So I mean, where's she gonna be like the asshole who has to spend the rest of the day with you guys and say like, "Yes, no, I never want to see this guy again." It's
Right? My husband and I have a theory
mm,
about freaking Ian. So my theory on Ian is that obviously he's got lots of supporters. I don't know if his uncle is a producer or something, but everybody seems to be rooting for Ian for some reason. And did you see what happened before he went on that double date though? This is where things get like crazy.
I can't remember.
He was trying to talk to the other white dude. What is his name? The one with no personality?
The other,
He's
the
like,
new one.
yeah. The one with like he's just like blank.
Justin. Yeah.
Justin. She was trying to talk to Justin when the text came through, right? Before that, she was saying, oh, before she friends zoned Ian, and then she was like, okay, listen, she wants to talk to Ross. And they were all like chilling together. Ross and Tanya were like in the little bed thing together. And she literally just lifted the blanket to get in next to Ross.
Yeah.
And a text came through to send Ross and Tanya on a date. That timing for me is crazy. Both times that she tries to get away from Ian, what do the producers do?
Push her with Ian.
That's hella suspect to me. So Ian is a Love Island plant. There's absolutely no other explanation. Like this whole thing is like a simulation, like what you call it? What is that Jim Carrey
Truman
movie?
Show.
The Truman Show. The whole thing is a Truman Show simulation to get Ian a date. Because I've never in my life seen a girl being bullied to be with some dude. Like, free her. Free Danae.
Hashtag free Danae.
Hashtag free Danae.
No, you're right.
Damn. It's suspicious, right? I know I'm not imagining things.
But like, I feel like there was a point where Asad also said, he's like, I feel like the producers want you to be with this girl.
Did he say that?
Something like that. Because he's like, you said you're looking for a conservative Afrikaans. Oh, she's definitely not conservative though. Like, she's Afrikaans, that's it.
No, she does. Yeah. It's like she said, she's like, oh, Afrikaans is just my language. Okay, well, damn, sorry.
It was so funny. It's not my life. It's just my life.
Like, I'm sorry, but you live in Benoni, girl. Like, I don't know if you think that there's no connection there, but it's a connection there. Stop fighting it.
She's like, I'm not like a regular Afrikaans girl. I'm a cool Afrikaans girl.
Because she eats sushi in Sandton.
And she wears like torn jeans. Like, she's cool.
So don't get it twisted.
But Ian is really on the wrong show. Like, even when he said, like, oh, I tried with Seda, I was like, did you? Did you try with Seda? I didn't see that.
A girl, like, he is, you know what? He may have, but the producers were so busy trying to show us people of color that there was like 2 whole episodes where we didn't see any of the white people on screen, like, at all. Because they were literally being ratioed to hell. So they were like, oh my God, just show them the black people, please.
I felt like Millie was the only white person before Chris that I felt like was like a main character. Like, I don't know about Rochelle as well. Rochelle also kind of had emotions.
Sure.
But I mean, like, Millie was the only one that I thought was like, you know, carrying the show. Like, before Ian also only became like a character later in the show. Him and Jay were on the same level in the beginning, just like in the background.
Yeah,
just fodder for Durang and Assad.
I only started noticing Ian and how irritating he is when Summer went home.
That was like now.
I thought I'd be happy when Summer was gone. I was really happy I thought I'd be happy when she was gone. But her being gone just like highlighted the fact that Ian is still there and so I'm still not happy.
It's wild to me that Ian was not ever in the lowest vote. Like
I'm so unhappy about that, man. It doesn't make sense. He's not even playing the game. Friendship. Bruh, get rid of this guy.
I'm was like, when I mean, I know how you feel about Xavier, but still, like Xavier is definitely a more exciting player, and he's funny. When him and Chris were in the bottom two, and Ian was nowhere to be found, I was like, no, this is nonsense. This is definitely
Yeah, honestly, like one thing about Xavier, and I'll give him this: a hero is only as interesting as the villains. And he's a hell of an interesting villain because he's really charismatic, he's so good looking. I just hate him so much. I'm just trying to resolve those feelings.
I can't believe you hate this guy. Shame, he's such a sweetheart.
No, he annoys me so much, like so much. Why did he do that? It's so annoying, and I can't look past it.
Yeah, but that was his fault. The gaslighting with
I don't know how
Millie.
many
Like,
got
if
over
he
that,
hadn't
eh?
done that, I didn't think she did because she was quite happy that him and Mishka
He's
were
a
in the
prince.
bottom.
Yeah,
Like, like she
I
could,
bet she
like,
thought for a second.
like she could be selling this aside in her story, but meanwhile, she just wants to beat Xavier and Mishka. That's what she wants. I'm sure.
I think so too. And I'm really surprised that they are beating Mishka and Xavier because Mishka is probably the only real influencer there
Mm,
because the other people are sort of like dwindling, 20K followers, 15,000 followers.
yeah.
That's still micro influencer
Mm,
level. Mishka's the only one who's actually in her influencer bag, which is another thing that Love Island missed big time.
yeah.
But the fact that she's the only person with a public profile, but she's flopping there in the bottom, maybe I'm not the only one who hates Xavier
Because
and he's bringing her down. But anyway,
that is true though, because when it was individual votes, she wasn't in the bottom three.
that's
But
true.
when she was with
That's
Xavier, she
true.
was.
So you see, ladies, for those of you listening, you've got to get a guy who matches you. You see, when you dabble with people who are not your equal, you end up in the bottom, no matter how fabulous you are. Mishka, sweetie, I'm so sorry.
So then she should have teamed up with Ian because he matched her in
That's true.
votes. She's not his type though. She's not his type. I know you were a big fan of Blood and Water as well. So tell me, like, what is it about, like, that show that you love so much?
So what I love about Blood and Water is that it is my favorite genre. I know that I'm damn near 30 years old and I've got two kids and a husband, a bond and a career, and I really should be concerning myself with worldly affairs and current events and sophisticated entertainment. But I love high school. I will love high school. I love teenagers who get up to nonsense. I mean, my shows have always been Gossip Girl, Vampire
Mm,
Diaries,
same.
90210. Just, you know,
Yeah.
if it is based in high school, I'm going to watch it. And the fact that Blood and Water gave me that, I was like, ding, 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 sold. But what's more is that they didn't do the whole, oh, this is a uniquely South African story, so we're just going to make everything about the fact that we are in Africa and this is African.
Mm.
It had so much international appeal that really helped, I think, skyrocket the thing, like really help it appeal to various markets. I mean, I was watching this thing climb the rankings. Netflix Brazil, Netflix freaking Korea, Netflix, just all these other countries, non-English speaking countries, were picking up on this show because they decided to tell a universal story. It just happened to take place in South Africa, have South African culture and South African people. And for me, that was a slam dunk.
So I'm quite excited for the second season. I see they're like filming now. Um, what do you think? Like, what do you hope will be in the second season?
So I was very, very privileged to work with Kosi Ngema at
Mm.
some point, who plays the
Yeah.
Fikile, pretty popular girl, and she is hoping personally that she doesn't have to wear that wig anymore. She would really like to wear her natural hair. And I agree with her because she's absolutely gorgeous. In my opinion, she can wear a bag and she'll look perfect. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with her look because part of the reason I love the teenage shows is also the fashion and the
Mm.
styling and that kind of stuff. So I hope Tequila gets to, rock a different look for us because I know that it will make Kosi and Gema personally very, very happy. So rooting for her. And then I'm also really looking forward to seeing more of that fabulous cast. For a lot of them, it was their first time on screen, and they really did a good job
Mm.
for their first time. And now that they've gotten a taste of it, now that they've had more practice, and I bet being in lockdown has, given them a hunger for it. So I'm expecting them to ramp things up significantly in terms of their individual performances and pushing themselves and really settling into their characters. I'm also really looking forward to them fixing the music because that was a big issue for everyone. But I've been seeing some updates in that from the team, and they've been listening to us, so that's a wonderful thing. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's next for these girls. Like, I'm ready, injected.
I like as you were talking, I was like, the story. So, you're right. The story's so universal, but the way they dress, man, it really looks like teenagers that you see like walking around, like like when the youths go to play. Like they look like that. They did such a good job with the costumes in the first season.
Yeah. Absolutely. It wasn't unbelievable. Like you say, they look like teenagers that
Mm.
you see everywhere. I mean, obviously, with these shows, they do sex it up a little bit. The teenagers are sexually active and they have these relationships and they do like to act older than what they are. But I'm 100% convinced that these are teenagers. Like, they
Yeah,
really do come across appropriate, for that role. So it's really well done. Like, I really can't wait.
yeah, and it's so fun. Like, I mean, I know South African teen shows before they
It
always
is fun, right? Oh,
always used to be like so serious, man. Like I know this is about like a missing girl and all that stuff, but like it just seems so much more fun. Like a lighter. Like it didn't feel like, oh yeah, we do have violence on the Cape Flats. Like, like it's just it was not as heavy as what we as what we are used to. Um
And I mean, they did talk about serious stuff,
yeah,
obviously the addiction, the relationship between a student and a teacher, all those types of things, the children smoking weed and that stuff. Those are serious issues, but it was just packaged so well in a way that's not, jarring, overwhelming. But it's still given its due seriousness. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's not like this, I'm going to traumatize you. I'm going to show you content that is not even important
Mm,
to the story. I'm just going to traumatize you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They handled everything so nicely. It was such an easy watch. It's such an engaging watch.
Hmm. So what else have you watched recently that you can recommend?
So right now, I'm watching The Bold
Mm.
Type. I'm really enjoying it. At first, I wasn't convinced. I know that it's an American series and it's set in New York. But I was telling my brother-in-law this weekend, it feels really Canadian. And I don't know how to explain that, but it just doesn't feel American. Like it just feels very polite and very, I don't know, it just feels Canadian. Like, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to figure it out and get back to you. But I'm really, really enjoying it. It's also really easy,
Mm.
light-hearted watch, and it's also nice to see people who are kind of my age, to step away from my high school genre. And I recently watched Ginny and Georgia, which I really, really loved. It was so nice. I didn't really know what to expect because when I go off of recommendations,
Mm.
I don't watch the preview. If someone I know enjoyed something, that's enough for me, and I will literally go into it, play the pilot, and not know what to expect.
But that show was I don't think
Um,
anyone could explain that show because it's like wild. Like I when I started
you know
watching
what it reminded me of?
yeah.
It reminded me of one of my favorite Lindsay Lohan movies, which is Georgia Rule. It's
Oh.
a comedy. It's really lighthearted. It's got a dazzling cast. I mean, Jane Fonda, Lindsay Lohan. It really doesn't get more enchanting than that. But there's a seriousness and a darkness to it that draws you in. So that's the kind of experience I had watching Ginny and Georgia.
I can see
Do you
that.
know what I'm
And
saying?
like the generations
Mm,
of people. Oh no, I was obsessed. Like I
exactly.
watched it all in one night. Like it was like 4 a.m. and I'm still sitting watching this show. I don't know when
No.
last I watched a show like that. Like I'm usually quite good at keeping, but that show I was just like,
Can I tell you how I binge Netflix?
yeah, sure.
So I obviously, I have the two
Mm,
kids, and we're always watching YouTube Kids and the Netflix Kids accounts. So I am watching all the How to Train Your Dragons and Lego Friends and all
mm.
those types of things. Freaking
Oh,
Coco Melon, and it's like that's what's on in the house all the time. And that's fine with me because I really do believe that a family should watch TV together. It should be a social thing. And then if the kids aren't watching and it's my husband and I watching, we're watching stuff that we will both
mm,
like. So he won't necessarily like Ginny and Georgia, but we are watching Snowpiercer together. We're watching Behind Her Eyes together.
mm.
So that's not really my time, it's our time. So when it is eventually time for me to carve out a little piece of mommy time just for myself, it's when I'm cooking.
Oh, okay.
We don't have an open plan kitchen. So I prop my phone up. I watch it on the app, and when I'm cooking, I'm binge watching. So when I'm done cooking, um, I can be with my family again, and I don't feel guilty about it. So when I'm binging, I'm chopping onions and I'm boiling rice and I'm doing the
Mm.
rest. That is how I consume
Modern
Netflix.
mom vibes.
And I don't know if that's sad, but it's been working for me like really well.
So what are like so what are the children into? Like what are their favorite?
Oh gosh, Talia really loves Lego Friends.
Mm.
Tiago likes Coco Melon. Oh, Talia also likes Carmen San Diego.
Oh yeah, it's cute.
And she actually said, because Talia has planned, well, for those who don't know, Talia is my 6 year old. She's my bestie. And she has already planned at least 3 birthday parties for herself, future birthday parties. Yes. And one of these birthday parties is a common San Diego party. So if anyone's listening and they need to throw a kiddies party, she wants a common San Diego party where she wears the common San Diego outfit and everybody else dresses up as different people from around the world
Oh, that's
because
brilliant.
common San Diego travels around the world. And so she has Chinese villains and Russian villains and Hawaiian villains and Polynesian people and all the different cultures. Each episode is located somewhere
Mm.
different in the world. So she wants her party to look like that.
That's brilliant. That sounds an amazing party.
Free idea.
Amazing party.
Quite an amazing party. Yeah, quite an amazing party. Yeah, and then she likes How to Train Your Dragon, the Rescue Rider series. She enjoys that. And what else does she have me watch on repeat? Other than that, it is YouTube videos. YouTube Kids drives me completely insane because she loves to watch people play with toys, and I nearly passed out because she loves this channel LEV Toys. That's how she got into playing with Legos.
Mm.
And I nearly passed out because LEV was building a really elaborate set. And Talia's like, "Oh, Mama, I need this set." And at some point, LEV, she's from Australia. She's like, "And this set costs $120." I said, "Talia, Mama doesn't have money for this." She goes, "Well, Mama, you're gonna go to work tomorrow, right?" I'm like, "Yes." "So then you'll have money." So I am working to buy Lego. Wish me luck.
Oh, good
That's all I
luck.
work for.
So what would you say is like your favorite movie ever?
My favorite movie ever. How can you ask me something like it? Oh, wait, actually, I do know. Dirty Dancing is my favorite movie ever.
Ah, classic.
Yeah, classic. It means so much to me. I don't know why. I think it's because I was a little bit of a baby in my day. I always liked the bad
Mm.
boys. Maybe that's why Xavier is stressing me out so much. But but that movie is just so special to me. And Netflix had a limited series. I don't know if it's still on. but it was called The Movies That Made Us. And they had a special episode about Dirty
Mm.
Dancing and the making of Dirty Dancing, the story behind the story, stories about the cast and stuff that happened on set, the budget, the mishaps, the magic, all of that. And that watching that solidified it for me. This is my favorite movie of all time. If you guys can find it, please, I recommend it. It's breathtaking.
Mm. Yes, you like I was quite young when I watched it, and I don't think I realized until obviously rewatching it later how much like even like the
Mm,
songs are like embedded into me. Like like you hear like a beat of it, and I'm like,
mm.
oh my gosh, this is that song that they when they doing the when they like crawling over the floor, the dancing. Oh, I love
Yes. Yes.
it.
I remember making my husband watch it with me. He had never, I think the first time I watched it, I must have been about 13. And at that age, I was really into romance novels, romance
Mm,
movies. And I knew that Dirty Dancing was a classic. So I've been watching it for years since I was 13. And my husband never did. We're only a year apart. And he just didn't have the same experience as me. He couldn't care less about this movie. And I made him watch it with me. First, I made him watch the movie, and then I made him watch the movies that made us, the
mm.
episode about Dirty Dancing. And he swooned. He was like, "This is a lovely movie." I'm like, "Yes, welcome." Jeez, took you long enough. I put you on game. You're welcome.
So, what would you say is your favorite series ever?
Okay, so I already told you guys that I have embarrassing taste. No, I'm just putting that disclaimer out there. My favorite show is Gossip
I know
Girl.
that is
I'm sorry.
brilliant. Mine too.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay, good, thank God, because it's like my dirty secret. Like it doesn't matter. It's actually my comfort rewatch. And right now I'm a little bit traumatized because it's not on Netflix, so I need to find another way to watch it. But I watch Gossip Girl every year, and I'm afraid if I don't find it for my annual rewatch, I'm gonna need to find another series to rewatch. But I can never rewatch something as easily as I rewatch Gossip
It
Girl.
was a cultural reset.
Exactly, it was defined a generation.
Definitely, yes. No, no, it is like I don't think there's any show that I can like like talk about with as much passion but also anger as much as Gossip Girl. Maybe Vampire Diaries, but not as much as I like it was my life for a bit. But no, 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 definitely. It's and I feel like it will be studied by students in the future, like as this is how we
Mm-hmm.
understand the 2010s. Um,
I'm definitely going to find a way to incorporate it into my studies. I know I want my master's or my doctorate at some point, and I just know that I'm going to find a way. Even if I'm doing freaking town planning, I'm going to write about Gossip Girl. MIPS. I do not care what I study. Gossip Girl is going to be a part of it. So
how
watch this
Gossip Girl
space.
restructured New York City. A thesis.
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
so, who would you say was your first celebrity crush?
Oh my gosh, you're taking me back now. You are taking me very, very far back. And I wonder if I'm not thinking about the wrong person. Hang on, let me Google it. Um, I don't even remember where I first saw him, but you know which guys I really used to like as a little teeny bobber? I really used to like the Latino guys.
Mm.
So like Wilma Vanderwimbre,
Yeah, Valderrama.
Wilma, that's the one. And you said you can't say Torquato, but you can say that. Please imagine.
Practice.
And I liked Mario Lopez.
Mm.
And I like the dude from John Tucker Must Die,
Ah, Jesse
Jesse
Metcalf.
Metcalf. So I think those were my Latino kings. I was just into those dudes. When white women say tall, dark, and handsome,
Yeah.
they don't actually mean like Idris Elba. They mean like a Latino dude or like a Saudi dude.
And they always say that,
That's the
yeah,
kind.
back to Love Island though. That's what they always say, like tall, dark, and handsome. And then a black guy comes in and nobody steps forward. But how?
Right?
But Sadie, thank you so much.
Oh no, it's over. I was just about to pour another glass of wine.
That was our chat with Sadie Torquato. You can find her at Sadie J Torquato on Twitter and at Sadie Torquato on Instagram. Links to everything we discuss will be in the show notes. Next, we chatted to Thimna and Libho from Love Island, South Africa, about their experience in the villa, what they will miss the most about the house, and what really happened during the planning of Libho's proposal. Of course, I had some questions I had to ask them, and I was so excited to chat to them. And they were adorable from beginning to end. If you don't believe me, just listen to this conversation now. Before we start, everyone on Twitter just wanted me to tell you that they love you guys a lot. And I'm sure they sent it to you personally, but they wanted me to tell you as well. So you guys are really loved.
We can feel the love.
Yeah,
we can feel the love.
We can feel the love. I think even while we're in the villa, we could kind of get a sense. We are never like in the bottom three or anything like that. So yeah,
that's true.
We appreciate the love as well. I mean,
it's been immense.
Yeah, and it requires a lot of effort to actually show it. So,
so we're really thankful for everyone.
We feel so much gratitude.
So yeah, that was my first question. Anyway, did you guys know how loved you were? Like how it was amazing.
I think when it came to the games, when they rated us, like best dress, best beach body, blah blah blah.
Why mentioning yours?
Best banter.
No, I wasn't
best humor. I
was hottest.
What? Best body. Best body. So I think from those games, and obviously from the crowd votes, around the fire pit, we were never in the bottoms. We were ranked pretty high in the viewers' choice, and so we did feel the love.
I didn't hear that one.
What?
The viewers' choice thing.
We played a game. It was in a game, babe.
No, I think it was in the.
It was in a game.
It
when we were
indoors.
The
recoupling where you chose me.
No, when we were indoors, babe. They played the best dress.
Do you remember
best
when
humor.
we were coming up with bombshells, and then you were?
Oh yes, and they also voted us the couple most likely to find love.
Yeah.
So I think they did kind of drop hints during the show. Yeah. They did.
But I didn't hear that. I still don't believe it. I'll watch it though. I'll only watch it. I'll believe it.
I think it's because it was the bombshell.
Obviously, I was too far.
Yeah. So you need to watch it and see.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Has anything surprised you guys since leaving the house? Like any kind of response to you guys or any of the other islanders that has shocked you?
I mean, for me, there's a lot of surprises.
Yeah, there was a lot of surprises.
A lot of surprises, but then again, such is the life we live. I'm not that shocked. It's just a lot of things caught us by surprise. It's things that we're not really oblivious to. I would say it's things that we're not really strangers to. So yeah.
And obviously, everyone has their different experience and how they felt. Maybe how they perceived us, and and everyone his opinion is valid, and people's feelings are valid, and if it's anything negative or positive, it's all valid. So
we never want to discredit how people feel, because it's literally how they feel, and they didn't really choose to feel like that. There's something that evoked in them to feel a certain way. So we completely sympathize with that side.
Lovely answer. So liberal. How do you both think that things how do you personally feel that you have changed since entering the villa?
Jeez.
She's a little bit old, so technology is very tough for her.
I've never had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. That's why.
Yeah.
I've never had to.
She's not used to the Zoom thing and everything. But that's why I'm here, just to guide her through.
Yeah, I need a young gun to kind of show me how things are done.
Guide her through the modern days.
That 3-year age difference.
Yeah, I mean,
he makes it seem like it's 15
years.
years.
Life happened.
I promise you.
95 to 98. I mean, geez.
94 to 98.
Exactly. So.
Okay, so I was asking you guys, how do you both feel that you have changed since before you entered the villa to when you left?
I think I've definitely been more open and more patient and vulnerable. I usually just like kick men to the curb and I'm just like, nope, I'm not even interested in explaining myself or opening up to you. I'm just going to go to the next guy. And if you don't act right, then goodbye. So I'm usually like that. But now I'm like, I'm patient. I explain myself. I communicate clearly. And I enjoy being vulnerable. It's not scary to me anymore.
Yeah, I've changed immensely. I mean, and she has been a huge catalyst in that change. From meeting her, I wanted to put in more effort. Even before I even put in effort, I just knew that I had to step up. She evokes that feeling in me. She evoked those attributes in me, made me more honest, more, I experienced a lot of growth as well. I mean, I came in as a very nonchalant guy. I was very much chilled, But since getting with her, I became a caregiver as well in the villa, just letting people confide in me, just letting them know how to deal with things. And yeah, it just made me step up in those levels.
While you guys were in the house, people were calling you like the head boy and the head girl of the house. Did you feel like you sort of like that you were fitting into that kind of roles?
Yeah, there was a stage whereby we'd sit down and we'd have a broad overview of what's going on in the villa. Sometimes I make a joke about it. I'd be like, hey, babe, what's going on in our kingdom today? And yeah, and then we talk about it and everything. So yeah, I mean, it's only fitting. I mean, our personalities are very much strong, very, what's the word? I don't want to say leadership, but yeah, we have leadership qualities in us. So the combination of us were bound to have that role in the villa.
I think also just the state of our relationship
at
the time in the villa. People saw us as the more established. So I think they really did come to us a lot for advice on what to do, how to do things. And I mean, we could only advise so much because at the end of the day, it's how you feel and what kind of action you want to take about how you feel. So I was always encouraging the girl to like kiss the boys and talk to the boys. He thought it was a bad plan.
She's the worst.
He thought it was a bad plan. I thought it was a good plan.
Where did it work, babe?
Babe, how are you gonna know?
0% pass rate.
How are you gonna know if you like someone if you don't kiss them?
Tyler lost who's Chris. Summer lost Jamie and Josh. Come on, babe. Who else did you advise to just go out there and kiss someone?
Tanya.
And how'd that go?
It went well. At some point.
Where are they now? Yeah, so
things change. Okay?
0%,
things evolve.
0%. You should have advised Thimna.
Oh yeah, I should have advised myself in the beginning to kiss you, right?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what is the point that like you guys knew that this is the person for me?
Well, for me, after recoupling, I just like the first recoupling where I picked her, I just felt it inside me. But I feel like we stepped up to such huge knots, and she kept showing me sides of her that I had not seen before, and those sides I started loving, I started liking, as well as when Tanya arrived and the way she handled that situation, I was like, I get it. This is my person without a doubt, because she showed me so much trust, and I want to value that trust. I want to keep that trust and never let it go. So yeah, it's all a combination of that. I'd say the trust part would be that one whereby I was like, this is the one, because I've never experienced that ever in my whole life. So yeah, I always went through doubts. I mean, when someone meets a guy like me, they're like, yeah, we have a lot to doubt here. And for her to trust me like that, I knew that she's the one, because she could see me for who I am. And yeah, that's what I love the most.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, it's facts.
And you, Thimna?
I think for me, the consistency. I mean, I did give him a hard time. And usually you can tell if a man is serious when you kind of, I mean, not purposely give him a hard time, but when you kind of stick to your guns and you take your time and you see that that person is still there, waiting for you and being patient with you. I think, definitely his patience and consistency. And he was just such a sweetheart. I didn't even wash one dish. I didn't dish up my own food. I never cooked my own food. He just did all of that for me. And I could see that he wanted me to kind of be at ease. He wanted to make my experience better. He didn't want me to lift a finger. And I love that about a man. If a man can take care of his woman unashamedly, then I'm with that. And so I was like, yep, this is going to be my boyfriend.
It was my choice.
I low-key wanted you to ask me out.
I know.
Oh, but the your proposal was so adorable. And what did you think about that, Thimna? Like, obviously we watched, but we didn't get to see how you felt about it.
Yo, I cried. I couldn't believe it because that was actually the first time someone has actually asked me to be their girlfriend. So I actually thought he did it quite soon because I thought maybe, because we had kind of talked about, experiencing all the potential tests coming in, in the form of bombshells to see that if, it's 100% and
because our relationship wasn't tested to the point whereby Thimna's type walked in.
Yeah, like my type never. He was the only type that actually walked into the villa. So I felt like from my side, I never really got that test to see if I really wanted him or if I was, kind of settling, because that was also kind of the chat in the villa as well, the person that you're with now, do you like them or are you just with them because you're comfortable being around them? And, should your type walk in, are you going to turn your head or are you going to stick with them and know that the person you're with is who you want, amongst everyone else?
So at the point whereby I did the proposal, I realized that even if someone did come in, I feel like it wouldn't be a test. And I felt like there's no way.
So I thought maybe we're going to wait for, kind of my test to come in. But, it never came and it wouldn't have mattered even if it did come. So, I was thinking that maybe week 5 he would do it. But he did it, in week 3. Nah? Yeah. So I was excited about that. I actually thought that I was being pranked. Because when I walked into the villa, it was like no one was there and everyone was quiet. I thought I was being pranked. So I sat on the couch and I was just like, okay, waiting for people to come out of the dressing rooms and stuff. And then the whole thing happened. I was super emotional. I cried when I saw the girls, humming, the song. And I just thought it was so thoughtful. And I actually didn't expect him to involve the other islanders because I like a thing that's private, but I think that him involving the other islanders just shows how much we care about them as well, and how much, they're just as involved in our relationship as we are, and they encourage us, and they always, have such beautiful words to say to us and affirm that we inspire them. So I thought it was really beautiful that the other islanders were involved as well.
Yeah, I was quite shocked that she didn't suspect a thing because I kept throwing in.
He kept asking me, for clues and questions on how to do everything, and I was just so oblivious. I was like, he asked me about the song that was hummed, and I was like, what song is this? I don't know this song.
Yeah, and then, I was asking her, I was like, would you like a private or public proposal on the day I make you my girlfriend?
Yeah.
And then she'd be
not knowing that it was like in that week.
I'll make it private, but, I wouldn't mind public as long as it's so and so. And so, I had to take all of those things into consideration. And, the way that it came out was beautiful.
So, I have to ask, sorry, that like the guys doing for the Owens Chan, did they decide that or did you decide that?
So I was like, I'm not gonna put any song for the O's because,
that sounded like a them thing.
I trusted the girls to execute their thing, so I just asked the O's to do for the Owens. And then when I said it to them, they were actually like, "No, we want to do this already." I'm like, "Kayla, just do for the Owens, okay?" And then it was just like that. And then, they decided to go with it. They went for it, But I think they are a little bit, angry at me for not actually giving them a bigger role, like, giving them a song or something. But I was so stressed about the execution that I didn't want to add too many elements because it would take away from the actual experience as a whole. And I wanted to be in the moment when I did ask her to be my girlfriend. I didn't want to be stressing about execution or how things are going and whatnot. So I felt like that went perfectly.
So what do you think you'll miss the most about the villa? I mean, I know you guys are stuck in this press tour right now, but I mean, once you have a quiet moment to think about it.
I think the quiet, the peace, the views of the vineyard, the fresh air, just being able to not have responsibilities, to just lay in the day beds like we used to and cuddle and talk. Yeah, I think I'm going to miss that the most.
I'll really, really miss nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I really won't miss anything.
Definitely the lack of responsibilities is like high on my list. Because now it's like the real world. We're out, we're working, and busy.
I wouldn't miss a thing.
I don't miss being in the sun though.
You see,
I do not miss being in the sun for those challenges.
No music, living with no music, living with no
TV,
takeouts, no takeaways,
no pizza.
I missed my Japanese. I got my Japanese back. I'm missing nothing in that villa. Okay, ask me in a couple of months.
Okay.
Maybe he'll get a little sentimental and think about all the nice moments we had in the villa.
Yeah. Maybe showering in front of a vineyard is up there.
Yeah.
When you did the Instagram lives after you left, I'm like, Libho looks like he's so excited to be back on Instagram again and talking to other people.
We really all were.
Yeah. It was so fun, especially seeing everyone else in their elements, seeing Mishka on Instagram, you know, how she goes about her business, how Tanya's kind of oblivious to
social
doing most things. Tanya and Ross are kind of like still new to the thing and whatnot. Assad is very professional about it.
Assad is really good on Instagram. So Millie's really good on Instagram. Wow.
Thimna's also
Sarah's really good on Instagram.
Thimna's very meticulous about her Instagram.
Rochelle is basically a model.
She wants certain angles and everything.
I'm very meticulous about my pictures and quality and all that.
So it was just fun to see everyone's personalities go out in that way as well, because we see everyone's personalities come out during challenges, come out in the villa. So to see them when they're on socials and how they go about things is very nice and contrasting to everyone else.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted that it's like you guys spend so much time together and now you got to ask each other for your phone numbers. Like nobody realizes how hectic that.
We moved in together. We slept in the same bed. And now we come out and we don't even have each other's numbers.
Yeah, first thing I did was follow his
first thing we did was Instagram and not even proper numbers.
I followed her Instagram. I was like, wow, this Instagram is fire. I should DM this girl. I'm like, no, she's my girlfriend. and then I realized in the long run, I'm like, no, I do not have this girl's number.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, yo, ma. I'm joking. I stole it off the group chat, really.
Yeah.
It's so cute that you guys have
a number of the group chat.
So cute that you guys have a group chat. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's a cool group chat. Yeah.
So what are you excited about going forward?
Just the mundane stuff, I think. You know, the little things, going to the beach, taking walks.
I can't wait to get settled. To have our place, to be together, you know, because right now it's getting a bit stressful for me because I have to make sure that, you know, we move in as soon as possible because we moved in the villa. You know,
it only makes sense to keep staying together.
To keep moving in together because now we won't be moving as forward as we were in the villa. So yeah, it might feel like a little bit of a regression. So I just can't wait to get that out of the way.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. This was lovely. I voted for you countless times.
This
so
was
happy.
Quick. I'm so gutted. I'm so gutted, Caryn. Why are you getting rid of us?
Caryn has a life. She needs to do other things. You can't be talking to us all the time.
No, Caryn, why are you doing this to us? What you doing? Yeah.
Caryn probably has a partner that she also needs to take care of.
No, Caryn does not. Sadly, no. That's the one.
Caryn, he's coming soon. Or you could go on Love Island and
no, it's okay. The podcast can be found at Crushing On Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find more information about this and all our other episodes at our website, crushingonpodcast.com, and send any feedback to crushingonpod@gmail.com. Join our Facebook group, Crushing On Club, where we chat about the show, celebrity news, recommendations, the whole shebang. Let us know what you think about what was discussed in this week's episode by sending us a voice note or email to crushingonpod@gmail.com. The show is produced by me, Caryn, and Rebecca Barches. The show is edited and engineered by Rebecca Barches. Our logo was designed by Latifa Maroof. And the show was created in partnership with IGN Africa. If you like the show, tell everyone that you can any way that you can. Keep up to date with all our episodes by subscribing to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And please rate and review the episodes on Apple Podcasts. as it helps others find the show. We'll be back next week with another in-depth conversation with a pop culture lover. See you then!